Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakagodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and shalom to the 144,000 chosen elect brothers, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yahshua to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahushai. This is your brother Radah. Just some reporting on this the situation with the government shutdown, the TSA movements being restricted, the psyop of it all, the preparation and the warning of it all. This is actually tumultuous times are coming, but also this is a type of grace, just like COVID. The C-19 situation was a type, even though it was a practice run and people died and everybody was lied to, and in the beginning, a lot of us were caught off guard. Depending on where you were at in the spirit, I had just woken up. I woke up August 18th, like mid-August of September of 2018. So I didn't understand doctrine or the truth the way I do now. I was unfamiliar with GMS and the apostles. I also didn't even know. I supernaturally had been woken up by a teaching on the Deuteronomy 28 curses, but there was still a lot that I'm still learning lots of getting more understanding on prophecy. But I have a decent understanding of the truth now, one that I didn't have back then. But during COVID, even that was a form of grace and mercy from Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai to shock those of us into reality, to see that the group of people, the race of people that established this country, that have controlled the narrative, have been lying to us about every fucking thing, from religion to science to medical practices and history. They've lied to us about who they are as a nation or a race of people, and they've lied to us about who we are as a race or a nation of people. And now here we are again with another situation in this government shutdown, and all of the stuff that's happening. It's sad to watch people still having trust, still having hope, still being stuck in the systematic cycles of this country and its beast system. It's like you guys should know by now. You cannot trust the so-called white man, and you cannot trust any of our people who promote him. You can't trust entertainers. You can't trust hip-hop artists. I don't give a fuck how good they sing. You can't trust R&B singers, because all of our people who are dependent and in agreement with this man's system so that they can have their little crumbs at the table, you can't trust them. So this system is being exposed. I just want to play some videos talking about the frustrations, or the craziness of what's happening with the finances and with the traveling with the airplanes, the air traffic control, and then try to pull some presets. This should be a pretty short lesson, but I still wanted to expose it. So I'm gonna let this lady speak, and then we'll get some other videos, and we'll get some precepts.
Vote, and I don't think you guys are truly appreciating how dire the situation is now. And whatever vote happens next week, it's too late. The damage has been done. So, as I've explained before, USAA, Navy Federal, some of these military-focused banks, all of their deposits come from the U.S. government. That's where the money comes from, because all of
what people are not understanding about this SNAPS benefit shit, and then with this government employee benefit, everybody's money is somehow and in some way connected to everybody else's money. We depend on other people's flow. That's why it's called currency, current, like water, like a current. It flows like water. Other people's money needs to flow so it doesn't affect our money from flowing. Does that make sense? It all has to flow, or it causes stagnancies or puddles or stoppages or blockages, which then eventually it will affect us. It will affect you. So this is a warning to brace yourself in prophecy. Prepare yourself physically. You guys gotta buy a tent. You gotta stock up on some dried beans and rice and canned goods, and store water. not as a form of salvation, but you need to be wise. Put some dried foods to the side because we are used to a system of fast food restaurants and store-bought food, right? I am. I'm gonna go right now. I'm gonna leave. Once I'm done with this lesson, I'm probably gonna go to the store and buy me something that I want to make tonight in my kitchen. But do I have stored up beans and rice? Yes, I do, you guys. I believe in Yahweh Shai. I follow the prophets. I know what prophecy is saying, but I still have canned goods. I have canned goods. I have buckets. A 5 pound, a 5 gallon bucket with a top on it can hold 30 pounds of rice or beans or lentils. I got a few of those, you guys. Am I boasting? No. You hear me teaching these lessons. You hear me teaching prophecy. I have a tent. I have a couple of tents and sleeping bags. We are going to be nomadic. Yeah, bro. I got ways to make fire and stuff. Am I an expert at this? No. I'm not even gonna say I'm super prepared, but I'm not just hanging out. You guys, we got to brace ourselves. We have to brace ourselves for Jacob's trouble. Okay, it's happening. It's not about being afraid. It's the wisdom. Wisdom shall be the stability of thy time. What does that mean? Understanding the chapters of the movie, of the episodes that are going to play out in the near future in this country and around the world. If you at least have understanding, or you have access to men who have understanding, studying that understanding, memorizing that, becoming familiar with the understanding of what the precepts and the chapters of the movie say. That's what prophecy is. The earth is one big movie. The earth is one big stage, and the Most High is the producer. Yahweh Shai is the director, and everyone's a character. Esau and Jacob are the two main characters. And there are episodes coming to us, you guys, that are going to play out. We're all going to be in this movie. You need to know what's going on, okay? I'm going to let this play, and we'll pull some precepts.
Your members are military members. So when billions of dollars didn't show up in direct deposits today, and now you have a 3-day banking holiday in which everyone's taking out cash from the ATM to cover expenses because they didn't get a paycheck, and they're selling money to their family so those people can survive, and they're transferring money here and there. There are no deposits coming in. You're not paying loans. There is no money coming into your bank over the next 3 days. All that's happening is your money is going out. Money is leaving your banks over the next 3 days. There is no liquidity. So let's say that we go out on a limb here and just hope to fucking God that your bank had $100 million in reserves, in cash, in case there is people making withdrawals. And let's say that 200 million actually gets withdrawn over the next 3 days. The bank will not know the full damage and ramification until the bank opens on Tuesday and realizes that they are $100 million in the hole. And by then it's too late because they can't go to the Fed quickly enough to get an injection of liquidity. And if you are a credit union, you don't have those tools. You can't go to the Fed and ask for an injection of liquidity to cover your negative balances. I don't think you guys understand what Congress didn't do today is going to have horrible effects.
And what people don't understand is Congress, the Democrats, the Republicans, and Trump, they are all following orders. You have to understand that these people are in the know, some of them more than others. In order for the MOTB, in order for prophecy. Okay, so I'm going to have to, let me see, where do I want to go with this? In order for this to happen, I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. He shall cause all, small and great. In order for this to happen, right here, small and great, let's see, okay, come on. You guys know this chapter, okay? And he causeth all, both small and rich. Salakia. Revelations 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So this group of people, this is dealing with your top 1%. This is your Lucifer, mentioned in Isaiah 14. Lucifer is the human element of the left hand. They are your top Amalekite banking families The Amalekites are the head tribe of Edom, and Edom is the so-called white man. And these people directly deal with all of the left-handed powers, meaning Satan and all the other ones, through the human sacrifice and the rituals and the sex and the the feast of blood mentioned in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12, verses 3 down to 6, I believe. Okay, you have to understand this. They have all the technology under their hands. They got the whole world. But in order for this next phase of financial control to take place, America has to be taken out. And they're systematically doing it because America cannot be an independent, a financially strong, independent nation with a global system because it's in the way. And this is what a lot of quote unquote white Americans are not understanding. They're still under the spell and the enchantment of patriotism because Trump keeps telling it to them. Okay, if you notice the upper echelons of the so-called white men, they're not patriotic. They're global. They're all about, you see how they're spending their money. They're not spending money on America. They're spending money on their wars so they can rob Venezuela, so they can rob Nigeria now, so they can go to war in the Middle East, and so they can provoke Putin to World War III through Ukraine. They're all over the place. They're giving out money. They're spending money. Where people are like, oh, why are they doing that? Because they're not patriotic like they've taught the nation, like they've taught us to be. The Christianity that everybody's underneath, the patriotism that everybody's underneath, all that doctrine, that way of mentally thinking with Halloween and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas and New Year's, and then what's the next one? Valentine's Day and then Memorial Day. All of those holidays with the inundation, the indoctrination of the media constantly advertising to you half of the year through the radio, television, and then whenever you're in a mall, the music that's playing, you're constantly in your eyes and your ears, you're being told how to think, how to react, how to buy, what season it is. In the meantime, while you were doing this year after year, same with football, same with baseball, same with fucking soccer, same with fucking basketball. Same with hip hop music and R&B music, all of these entertaining things, you guys. And then the Western Renaissance Christian Church, who never points out the American government, all of this shit, right, has created this mental enchantment of our people and the Edomites, right? 2/3 of our people, that they're stuck in this Western American way, and then the voting system, Democrat, Republican, which is then now the political deception aspect of all this bullshit that we're talking about, right? Meanwhile, what are the fucking leaders doing? They're doing something completely contrary. Why? Because they're all Freemasons. They're all left-handed, occultic, satanic believers that they present a face on one aspect, but behind the scenes, they're doing something completely different. They've always been preparing for this one world order. They're preparing to fight Yahushai to prevent him from coming and sitting on the throne of King Malak Davida. Also, that's why they slander the UFOs, or they won't tell you what the UFOs are. They understand higher up that you go that the UFOs are the military force of heaven. Those are angels. Those are Elohim operating those both right and left-hand side, and they're carrying out Yahweh's instructions. Anyways, I don't want to get too deep on that. Look at this. This is Revelations 13:16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, and in Revelations 13:18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. It's the number of a race of people, not an individual man. It's talking about a race. And his number is 666. And this is why you always see anybody that's on television, they're always throwing up that Baphomet sign or that triple hand, that OK symbol over their eye. Or they're always doing some, it's ridiculous. Let me see if I can just also pull that up. You got to understand, this is why they're doing this. They're giving homage to, let me see if I can, triple six hand signs. I don't know if it will even, let me see. There it is. Oh, okay. And I know that's not what it's called, but the internet responded. So there's so many different variations of this you see on TV with every fucking movie star, every hip hop artist, every singer, YouTube people in podcasts, on TikTok. They're all doing this shit. It's intentional. They're all on different levels in Freemasonry, and this identifies them with what agenda they're a part of. And however their podcast, however their media outlet displays a form of entertainment, a form of advertisement, whatever the fuck, it's still connected. It comes back to this system. And who sits on top of this system? What race of people controls the media, you guys? What race of people controls air traffic control? I just did a lesson on not too long ago. Esau is the prince of the power of the air. Who puts satellites up into the sky? What race? Do so-called blacks and Mexicans do that shit? No, dude. They've been given that power. They sit on many waters. They got their military bases in so many areas, 700 different places on the earth. They are the specific rulership that the scriptures talk about, with the whore that sits on many waters. It's talking about this. This is the man. Okay, let's look at some images. All right, and then you see Jay-Z, and then you see Beyonce, right? But who pays them? Whose system are they operating on? And this goes into our people in Jeremiah making a covenant with death, and the covenant with death is talking about our people making agreements with Esau, because Esau is called death and hell. Here's a real famous one. You guys, that's not an accident. Now, these people have been entertaining us, right? We've been patriotic, we've been Christians, we've been Catholics, we've been Muslims, we've been all these things, but we've been American and we've been patriotic and we've been celebrating all the holidays while being entertained by these court jesters. Okay, all of these court jesters are doing the same thing. Look, there's more. It just, come on, dude, what the fuck? And this is not even what the lesson is about. But come on. What do you see, you guys? This is just an accident? No, this is all going into Revelations 13. It's all been working up into what we see, okay? It's all working up. Come on, man. How many fucking times do you got to see that hand signal on everyone that's on television before you fucking accept the fact that there's something going on? You don't want to believe it, huh? No, that's what it is, dude. So look, let's go back to Revelations 13. Let's just go back. Come on, man. All right. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man shall buy or sell save he take that he had the mark or the name of the mark. And that's the RFID chip. Okay, so this is going into so I wanted to say all this. Now, what's happening is part of that system. They are breaking down America, you guys. They're breaking it fucking down, and everybody's in shock.
So I am getting some questions from a lot of people wondering, like, what's going to happen next week with the vote, and I don't think
everyone's like, make America great again. You guys, it's eventually gonna fucking crash. Okay. I want to get some.
The population in South Africa is.
We have some news right now. The Trump administration is emailing grocery stores across the country, telling them and reminding them that they cannot give special treatment, like subtle discounts, to individuals that rely on SNAP benefits during this difficult time for many Americans. Essentially, some groceries around the country started offering discounts for SNAP and EBT eligible Americans because they simply can't afford full price groceries at a time where SNAP benefits aren't being paid out. And now the Trump administration is emailing grocery stores across the country saying if they want to keep their SNAP EBT eligibility, then they have to comply with the equal treatment rule, which...
So they put pressure on them. If you want to get this money, then you fucking back away from them, and then everybody bowed down because they don't want to. Because at the end of the day, it's about money, and it comes back to this. They're starting to do this. It's not happening just yet, but they're starting to do this. And what? So, and that no man might buy. What else does this go into? It goes into the cruel Lord, Isaiah 19. I believe it's Isaiah 19. Well, look at this, man. You got to look at this, okay? Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud that goes into the chariot when Yahweh comes, and shall come into Egypt. This is talking about America, Mystery Babylon. And the idols of Egypt, that's your Christianity, your left and right, your Democrat, your Republican, your patriotism, all that bullshit, even your sorceries. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved, right? At his presence, and the earth and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And this is what's happening. So it's not just Donald Trump, it's all that's backing Donald Trump. This is going into the face of Lucifer, the 1%. We are now beginning to see the puppet strings on the puppet. Donald Trump is a puppet, you guys. And so is the right, and so is the left, so are the Democrats, and so are the Republicans. But we're beginning to see the strings being pulled way more violently, and we're able to see the strings, and now we're starting to see the hidden hand that's pulling on the strings, and we know that it's Amalek. People are starting to say, oh, it's Israel. No, it's Amalek, the race of people occupying the land of Israel. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Look, the next one. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst of thee thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to their idols and to their charmers, and to them that have familiar, because nobody truly knows who Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is. They don't know the truth. Everyone's pissed off at us, but this is what everybody's under. They're under white Jesus, Renaissance Western Christianity, Catholicism, and their bullshit fucking tarot cards and shit. And to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And this is going to be the beginning stages of these draconian laws, this harsh treatment, which leads into 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, and Jacob's trouble, where everyone's going to start getting killed in the fucking streets. And because in order for them to start to force the laws, you can't buy, sell, or trade. In a normal American society, when we thought we had rights, oh, that's wrong. You can't do that. Someone could pay for a lawyer and sue somebody. All that shit's going away. All that ability to sue, to have a lawsuit, to get money for mistreatment, to protest, to argue your case, that shit's fucking going out the fucking door. So Isaiah 19:4, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. So grace is leaving. Grace and forgiveness, all that shit is leaving the earth, because we're also going to go into what? We're going to go into the famine of the word, where the prophets are going to shut their mouths, which means what? There's going to be no more extension of grace from the right-hand side to give you guys a chance to repent, to come to Yahushai, because this has to take place. It's all connected, you guys. And the Egyptian will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord saith Yahweh of hosts. And then what happens then? The people will begin, seditions will set in. They will no longer, they shall not regard their kings. And this is all say, for there shall be seditions. 2nd Ezra 15:16. For there shall be seditions among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now let's get more of this video. I want to get more of these videos. Salakia for taking but you got to see these precepts, man. You can't just hear these people talking. Look at this.
It is day 32 of this shutdown. That means officially have missed 2 paychecks, and it's freaking time to grocery shop, which I'm not looking forward to because I'm a family of 6, and we normally spend about $1,100 a month in food, because that includes the kids' snacks, their lunches, breakfast for school. It's day 33 of the government shutdown, 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and I am starting to DoorDash. I got approved last night, and
she's a TSA worker that's starting to DoorDash. This is a glimpse into ye careless women. It's gonna get bad, you guys.
And honestly, like I've said, I'm not above a thing. I'm not out here looking for handouts or anything. I'm gonna do what I have to do, as well as my husband. We're gonna do what we have to do in order to get by and survive. It's just a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. But it's day, I think, 29 of being furloughed, and Halloween's in 2 days, and I'm just...
And the pathetic part, the reason why I saved this I don't want to slander this lady, but this is what's the problem. Our people, this is an Israelite woman. It's an Israelite family. She's freaking out about Halloween because of the children. We've all been raised on that fucking bullshit holiday. It's a wicked fucking holiday, but I have children. Oh, and that sanitizes it? No. Same with fucking Christmas. Same with fucking Thanksgiving. And for us, it is transgression. It is a sin for us to observe these holidays because we are the Hebrew Israelites. Even if you don't understand that you're a Hebrew Israelite, that's why you're in America. We are not the same as the Edomites, you guys. Learn not the ways of the fucking heathen. Our people are fucking, what's the word? We're polluted. We're saturated with every aspect of every type of doctrine that these fucking people taught us from slavery. And we became what you see today. It's fucking disgusting. She's freaking out about fucking Halloween. She's clueless to prophecy. America's over. There is no more Halloween. There's no more Christmas, you guys. There's no more Thanksgiving. Get that shit. There's no more football. There's no more fucking basketball. Get that shit out of your fucking heads. There's no more fucking America. And the quicker people understand this, but see, they won't let go. They won't let go of the enchantments.
Now going to get my kids' Halloween costumes because I have not had the funds for that. Like, just genuinely, we have not had the funds for that. The only reason I'm even able to do this now is because I had to pull from my retirement and
So she pulled from her retirement to get her fucking children goddamn Halloween costumes to go trick-or-treating for fucking candy with masks on. But in her mind, this is the American way. In her mind, this is what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to observe this holiday. You are supposed to participate. You can't, the thought of not participating, that can't even cross their fucking brain cells. You have to participate in Thanksgiving. You have to travel you have to. You have to buy Christmas presents. Do you see how much of a bondage this fucking shit is? And so therefore you must continue as an American-minded American. Can't be a Hebrew Israelite. No, you can't believe in Yahweh. No, that's not white Jesus. Dude, this is bad, man. And the Edomites on the bottom, they're just as bad. Of course, they can't come to Yahweh, but they can't give up the idea of America. They're fucked.
I've only been there.
So, unfortunately, we do not have any.
Look at this. Listen to this Edomite in the background cussing them out.
In our system. However, if you do buy your own hotel, we do have a voucher to give you for $200. United will refund. Go eat a dick, you shit. If you want to get the voucher, please come see us here.
So a 2-hour flight to Atlanta, and United turns into a 3-day camping trip at the airport. Imagine. So that guy's freaking out, right? It's not these people's fault. It goes up higher. But see how he's responding? It's 50-50. 50% of people understand his point. Other people are like, what are you? If you go into the comments, I'm sorry, but that man yelling out randomly is funny as hell. Is that Randy Marsh yelling? They're yelling at the man like he owns the airline. Man, gate workers have the worst job at the airport. They're literally just telling you what they were told. Yelling at the gate agent, I would have walked off. Mad at everybody but the man they voted for. United didn't do it. Air traffic controllers are expected to work without pay. Well, Congress is getting paid without working. Trump spent over $3 million on a Halloween Hunger Games party. That could have paid a few air traffic controllers. See? So everybody's seeing all this shit, and this stress, this emotion, this is going into, I will set the Egyptian. This is Isaiah 19, the whole chapter, right? And then also it's going to turn into this, you guys. For there shall be 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be seditions among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor why? Because of this shit. And that's a Jake woman. So you got an Edomite man yelling for, and then you got a Jake woman, and everyone else is silent because they feel the same way. So
there's a shortage of 4,000 controllers already. You're not firing people, are you? You can't afford to.
No. So when we're 2,000 to 3,000 controllers short, but that's a huge number. And you make an interesting point, because I've tried to surge air traffic controllers into the.
So you got to think about all the people traveling for holidays, but you also got to think about all the people who need to travel for work that don't have private jets. That's also money lost, you guys. So now you got people catching flights constantly back and forth on these normal planes because that's what their job pays for their air, but they got to be somewhere. And then they got to provide whatever service it is when they get to where they're going, or something doesn't happen. I guarantee you, bro, I'm not even doing a good enough job explaining it, but there's people who need to get to destinations because that's their job. And then the people, when that person arrives, whatever takes place, whatever happens, and then it completes that specific job. Well, now these people are fucking not able to make their flight. That's going to also affect other fucking income with other industries. Everybody's money is connected to everybody's money, you guys, in this system.
Through our academy. Margaret, we're up 20% of controllers through the academy this year alone. It takes them about a year to two to get certified in a tower. But this shutdown is impacting my pipeline of controllers. Yeah. And so when everyone forgets about air traffic control and the shutdown, I'm going to deal with the consequences of, again, delivering for the American people and getting more controllers in the towers, not less. And you bring up a good point. We're already stressed in that we don't have enough controllers in our system. And this shutdown, when we have staffing triggers where they're not coming in because they're funding their families and food on their tables, that makes it more difficult because we're already short.
So you're not going to fire them?
I don't plan on firing control.
Okay.
No, listen, again, when they're making decisions to feed their families, I'm not going to fire air traffic controllers. I have loved them and supported them as they're trying to go through this process, and it's challenging for them. They need support. They need money. They need a paycheck. They don't need to be.
These people have to go find work somewhere else to scramble. What does it sound like? Make brick without straw. Remember that story in the Bible? When Pharaoh told the Hebrew Israelites, because Moses was saying, let my people go. Oh, you guys are idle. So now go make brick without straw. So they had to scramble to go, and they still had to produce the same amount of bricks, which is absolutely difficult. So they had to go find straw somewhere else than where they were getting straw from and still produce the same amount of bricks, or they were getting their asses beat.
Today is November 4th, and it is day 35 of the government shutdown. If you are traveling, you need to know the airports that are suffering the most when it comes to this shutdown. I'm Cece, and I'm a flight attendant, and I share all things travel. I haven't been out flying in the last 5 days, but I'm getting ready to go back to work for the next week, and I'm really deciding where I'm going to fly based on which airports are having the biggest problems. I'm going to give you the top 10. I shared a video 30 days ago. The last time I went through a shutdown was in 2018, and it ended up being resolved at day 35. Somebody actually committed suicide at the Orlando airport. If you don't remember, it was really bad. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go to the National Airspace System Status website, and they're going to tell you where the delays are expected and where they're actually occurring. I'll put that website.
The thing is, if they don't open up the government, that it's just going to increase. It's going to get the congestion or the stagnation. The lack of movement or flights is going to increase from airport to airport. It's not going to stay the same. It's going to increase.
In the comments, so you can look it up. So back to the top 10 airports that are having the biggest issues right now. And that could be TSA or it can be ATC related. Number 1 is Newark. Number 2 is LaGuardia. And number 3 is JFK. Then we have our Texas airports, Dallas and Houston. I don't know if you saw the video, but 3-hour wait for TSA yesterday. Chicago, Orlando, and Denver are also having issues. And in California, we have San Francisco and LAX. If you are flying out one of those airports, you need to give yourself ample time to get through TSA, okay? The stress these people are under going.
I remember all those fucking people in those airports, you guys, who dealing with everybody else's stress, and they're not getting paychecks, bro. The human element is being tested right now in all these places. You got to, man, fuck, bro. But we're in those times, man.
Every day, not receiving paychecks. Yes, they will eventually be paid, but who can go 35 days without a check? Today is November.
Hey, so I wouldn't step foot on an airplane right now. My dad was an air traffic controller for 30 years. I got to go with him into the tower numerous nights in a row just to see what he does and into numerous meetings. And he was also a lobbyist for NATCA. NATCA, N-A-T-C-A, here's their logo, is the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. It's a union, okay? It's a labor union. You pay like 2% of your salary in per year, and if you're laid off, you'll have money set aside. If there's an emergency expense, you have options to dip into that fund or that pool, and they don't have any of that. Air traffic controllers are notorious for retiring early because it's such a stressful job, or dying, like from heart attack at a very young age. I mean, think about it. You're looking at numerous aircraft with 200 to 400 souls on board, and it's your job to keep them alive. That's stressful as fuck. One of my dad's friends, by the time he was 45, had 3 heart attacks. But back to my point. The government's refusing to help fund them, even though the government rarely funds labor unions in the first place, but these are federal workers. These are air traffic controllers. The guys literally overseeing your safety for taking off and landing at an airport. And they're quitting left and right. They're getting laid off left and right. They're driving.
And these airplanes are flying in the sky, bro, and they need the direction of these air traffic controllers so that they don't crash and so that they don't wreck. And so this shows you the what's the word? The attitude or the mentality of Lucifer or the upper echelons of the rulership of Esau Edom, how they just don't give a fuck. Because this is very dangerous. These people are, people need their, with money, you can buy your medications, you can buy your coffee, your food, your nourishment for your body. For the most part, your mind and your emotions are stable. These people are having to go to work with all that in a pressure in a job that's already got pressure to it. You got to be on your P's and Q's because what he's saying, you're dealing with all of these airplanes going to and fro with all these people on them and the people that are on the ground. We just saw a plane crash the other day, really bad, all the fire, and then you got these people not getting paid. So depending on all their different ways of saving or not saving it, how are they eating? How are they not eating? What are they having to change? Dude, there's so much in this, bro. And yet they don't give a fuck. Why? Because they are moving America into the digital currency. So they have to fucking systematically bring it down.
Uber and doing DoorDash, and they don't give a fuck about their job right now. And why should they? I can't blame them one bit. But as somebody who has firsthand experience into that lifestyle through the lobbying and the unions and the pressure from the government to keep doing your job even though you're not getting paid, don't step foot on a fucking plane right now.
And that part right there is what's made me start saving these videos, because I got pissed off when I saw the news on how everyone was mad and 3 hours standing at some fucking airport. And I was like, why the fuck would you get on the plane right now? Any goddamn way. And then it just pissed me off because it shows you how much our people and Edomites, Americans, the mind, the blindness, the enchantments, how they are literal fucking zombies. That no matter what the fuck is going on, everyone is still trying to live life as it's normal. And America is not America anymore. They're trying to move and operate like they're still operating in America 5 years ago and before, when that's not the case, you guys. ICE is running all over the place, right? China and Russia are doing what they're doing. Fucking Trump's doing what he's doing. There's new technology now that's being released that's going to turn fucking money into digital currency. Shit is not the fucking same, dude. Prophecy is literally jumping off the pages, and everyone wants to continue in America like nothing has changed.
Hey, we have some news right now. The Trump administration, according to the Washington Post, is now sending out notices to federal workers suggesting that furloughed workers may not be paid after the government shutdown ends. One of the messages that was sent to
Ouch.
federal employees cited by the Post said, quote, once an appropriation or continuing resolution is enacted, expected employees are entitled to receive payment. Now, that sentence specifically does not include furloughed workers, which is different than what was included in the first furlough notice that was sent out earlier this month. Now, there is a law in place that requires the payment of back pay to federal workers who are furloughed. But the Trump administration has been toying around with an idea that it may not pay those federal workers, which would mean hundreds of thousands of federal workers would not get back pay despite not being able to work due to no fault of their own. Now we'll see what the Trump administration decides to do, but if they try to do this, it will be a...
But they'll fucking spend money on all these wars and send money to places and...
massive court battle. More to come soon. Follow along steps.
So this shit, again, it goes into here. They will not regard their kings. They shall not regard... there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Now, this is going to be due to martial law, which is coming, but you see a glimpse of it with the fucking air traffic control because the city is shut down, or the government is shut down. And as a result, verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. 19, a man shall have no pity. And eventually, human nature is going to rise because Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai is going to release his hosts, his angels, in those chariots, and they're going to breathe or pour out a vial or however it's going to be distributed. And all of a sudden, something's going to unlock in a lot of Americans and people around the world, and lawlessness is going to set in. A man shall have, you got to understand that these precepts, these are spiritual oracles, okay? These are decrees that these are programs that govern the minds of spirits that they are sent to. You have to understand how powerful just this, bro, 2 Ezra 15:19, if you do not have the mark of exemption on your forehead, if you don't have the Thawah, if you are not covered in the blood of Yahweh with the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai on your forehead, and he has to write it on you, which means you understand who he is and his doctrine, and you're in agreement. If you don't have that, this is coming to get your fucking ass right. This is Jacob's trouble. Look, 2 Ezra 15:19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Why? Because of a lack of bread and for great tribulation. Every animalistic, beast-like fucking behavior is going to be unleashed inside of the minds of men and women on the earth during this time. And people, they're going to devour each other. They're going to attack one another. And this is kind of what you see. Just a little tiny glimpse, a little baby glimpse of, let me see, was it right? Where was it at? Which one? Right here. This is just people cussing because they're frustrated. When this is going to be the breaking of skin. This is going to be the shedding of blood. This is going to be criminal. It's going to be violent, physical. I'm going to take what you have because I'm dying, and I'm going to put myself before you, and I'm going to live, and you're going to die. And it's just going to be ferocious, man.
Unfortunately, we do not have any hotels in our system. Fuck you! However, if you do buy your own hotel, we do have go fuck yourself to give you.
And that's just frustration. When this sets in, it's bloodshed, and it doesn't stop, you guys. So, with all that, I want to say, so I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Krokdas, and double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone of whom I learn from. and a shalom to the 144,000, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.